This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to yet another victorious edition of the Rays POSTCAST. I'm Jonathan Shields, lifelong Rays fan, super excited to be covering this team every night with you guys. And I will be here for every game for the rest of the season, a part of the Locked On Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST. And what a win it was. It's about time the Rays got on the right side on one of these 1-0 wins. And it is a third win in a row for the Rays. We talked about it coming into this road trip. They needed a winning road trip, especially with the schedule they had upcoming. The Padres, 12-1 at home before this game. Best bullpen ERA in the MLB, which you can tell their bullpen is disgusting. But none of that matters because Shane Baz is an absolute demon. In this one, we're going to be talking about that Rays 3-game winning streak. We're going to talk about, is this the best Rays lineup that they can put out right now? And the last thing we're going to talk about is, can the Rays keep this up? But what everyone's talking about and what we're going to be talking about is the Shane Baz Masterclass.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Time to break down Shane Baz because he was absolutely incredible. And this was a guy that had his worst outing of the year last time against the Yankees. And you knew he was going to bounce back in a big way. And that he did. 7 innings, 4 hits, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, no runs. And I just tweeted, the Rays for years have won with pitching and defense. How do they win tonight? Pitching and defense. If you're new here, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're in the live chat, leave a comment. Like usual, we're going to be getting them at the end. Whether you're watching or listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you may be listening or watching, make sure you guys subscribe. Again, I will be here every night after every single Rays game, win or loss. But there's a lot of wins right now because of Shane Baz and that defense. And it was so fitting because how did that game end? With pitching and defense. What a play by Meisner and Wright to double up the runner. And of course, I literally wrote down them reaching on a strikeout. That would be the most Rays way to lose, right? Especially after everything that we've seen this season. But thankfully, Cam Meisner bails us out. Garrett Cleavinger, who's been fantastic, he earned that high leverage role. And the key to Shane Baz's performance tonight was the bullpen was dead. Fairbanks was not going to pitch. You said it was not going to pitch. Your 2 best bullpen guys were not going to pitch. So you needed your starter to give some length. Shane Baz is the only Rays pitcher to go 7 innings this year, and he's done it twice. You could argue he's been the Rays MVP through 25, whatever, almost at 30 games so far this year. He has just been so massive. And I cannot say enough good things about how good he was today. He had his curveball working. And the thing that I loved about what Shane Baz did today, he varied the velocity on his fastball. I saw it get as low as 94. I saw it get as high as 99. And when you were working with that, when you get it as low as 94, it almost acts as a pseudo changeup because of the way you can change velocities. And him doing that, I thought was a key. And then the way he did sprinkle in his normal changeup, I thought was awesome. I thought he placed that so perfectly at the right time because he's mostly just fastball, curveball. Those are his 2 main pitches. And the way he was able to sprinkle in the changeup and even the slider, rarely tonight, was really, really good. 3-game winning streak for the Rays. And it feels very fulfilling to talk about this 3-game winning streak because we talked about it. Everyone was here. They know we talked about it. They needed a winning road trip because the AL East, more teams in the AL East lost tonight. Well, the Yankees and Blue Jays are playing each other. But there's only 2 AL East teams that played. And, of course, one of them was going to lose. Baltimore and Boston got rained out. And if the Rays can just keep treading water in this division, treading water until, boom, they eventually hit their stride. When they get their bodies back, when they get their outfielders back, when they get McClanahan back, that's what they need to do. And they're starting to put it together. I thought Kevin Cash managing the last 3 games has been spectacular. He's back on his A game as if he ever left. He's been awesome. I think at times we take him for granted. And I think for times we take Kyle Snyder and this pitching staff for granted. And I thought the offense did a fine job at just establishing pressure throughout the game. And I know they went a while without getting hits. But I'll tell you what, Michael King's 2-seam is one of the most disgusting pitches in baseball. I mean, how many times did he freeze really good hitters with it? I mean, this Padres pitching staff is no joke. There's a reason I believe that was just their 10th loss of the year. There's a reason why they were just in single-digit losses going into that game. They are legit, and I cannot emphasize enough how big of a win this is for the Rays. And now you just need to go 1-1 these last 2 games to secure a winning road trip, come back to Steinbrenner, and then go to New York, and then you got another you're home for an extended period of time. It's only a matter of time till the Rays start winning those games at Steinbrenner. And we talked about it. It could be good for this team to get out on the road. And right now it has been good for this team to get out on the road. 3 straight road wins, 2 of them by 1 run, the other one in extra innings. And of course, there's no easy, I really wrote down, no easy wins with this team. It's always, your heart's always got to be going. Always got to be going. If you guys are watching live, leave your comments in the comment section. We'll get to them at the end. But we're going to talk about, is this the best lineup the Rays can face right after this? This episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire and TV. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your pair controller, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Unlimited with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports, College Football 25, to Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Avowed, as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple. With Wi-Fi 6 and CC auto low latency mode, advanced technology, Fire TV 4K delivers smooth, more responsible gameplay with lightning fast speeds you need to stay competitive. And it's the best way that you can play any of your games. Like I said yesterday, MLB The Show is the hot game out right now. And with the Rays, I would want to play with the Rays right now. Who wouldn't want to play with this pitching staff? This is the best way to do it. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Unlimited subscribers and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Q, 3rd Gen. I think that this is the best 7 hitters that the Rays can put out right now. The first 7, I think, is the best 7. In whatever order you want to put them, Simpson, Brandon, Yandy, Aranda, Jr., Morel, Meisner. It was Meisner, Morel today. But I think those are the best 7 you can put in that order right now. And, of course, it took Ben Warfett till today to get over hitting 100, but he had that double. And then, Taylor Walls, he's been fantastic with the glove. Recently, he had those errors against Arizona, but you know what he is at this point. Whether you want to put Cabby in there, I think the best lineup right now, you put Cabby and Jensen in there. I think that's what they're going to do tomorrow. That's a pretty good 1 through 9 until your guys in the outfield can get back and really lengthen that lineup even more. Let me know in the comments if you guys also think that that's the best lineup, what you guys would do differently. But we saw a little bit of everything. We saw Simpson's speed with that bunt. We saw Brandon Lau's power. He finally got a hit, and it was a hard hit ball. We saw Yandy like he normally does, 110 off the bat. That's what he does. We saw Aranda get some good APs. We saw Junior hit. The only guy that really struggled tonight was Meisner and Morel, and I literally put it here. Morel was getting 86 blown past him in the 9th inning like it was nothing. And that's the roller coaster with Christian Morel. He looks like an all-star yesterday, and he's back to his hitting below 200 and striking out, whatever it is, almost 50% of the time like he was today. But I think this right now, this is the best lineup the Rays can put out there. And even though they only scored 1 run today, there are some positives to take away because I thought, even though they went through stretches where they didn't have good at-bats, I saw at times they still put together really good at-bats. But again, guys, this Padres bullpen is the best bullpen in baseball. I mean, it's not particularly close. That an ERA under 2 going in this game. And guess what? Michael, I don't even think the run the Rays scored won't be an earned run for Michael King because Walls end up scoring off an error. So, I would give the offense a pass on this game because the Padres bullpen is so terrific. But I think right now, this is the best lineup 1 through 7 that the Rays can put out there. And then I just said how they can make it better. Caballero and Jansen. And obviously they actually just made a trade to get the old Rangers outfielder who played against the Rays for a while to just provide that depth, because now they said Magnum's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks with that growing stand. Hopefully it's more on the 2 side. And then the question that everyone's going to be asking, can the Rays keep this up? I'll say yes and no. They can't keep up winning 1-0 and winning 5-4 and coming back like they have the past 2 days and winning in extras. But can they keep winning with pitching and defense? Absolutely. That's the way they've won for the past 15 years. Is this offense going to get better? I am a firm believer in this offense. I'm a firm believer that Yandy's going to hit over 280. I'm a firm believer that Brandon Lau is going to hit over 260 with 25 home runs. I'm a believer that Junior is going to hit 30 home runs this year. I'm a believer when Josh Lowe comes back. And Nylander said they're targeting mid-May that he can be that 2020 guy that he was 2 years ago. I'm a believer in just what the Rays doing. And how can you not believe in the Rays for what they've done? They've been one of the best franchises in the MLB for the last 15 years. So can the Rays keep this up? I sure hope so. But as covering the team, being a fan of this team, I sure hope so. But I think they have a top 5 rotation in baseball. I think they have a top 5 bullpen in baseball. And when this lineup is healthy, this is a top 10 lineup in baseball. And that team with the best manager in the sport, I think, should be making the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think. Can the Rays keep this up? I sure hope so. But I also think there's tangible things that this team does do in order to keep this up. But let's get to the turning point of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's that Meisner double play. I jumped out of my seat when he made that grab because, of course, like I said before, you get the strikeout that leads to a base runner because it gets away from Wordfet. You're like, oh my goodness, here we go. And then off the bat, you're like, oh, that's dropping. That's a blue pit. Here we go. And then Meisner, an unbelievable play in order to double up the runner. And that is a turning point. It is the play of the game, whatever you want to say. It got the Rays their third win in a row and a much, much needed win. And probably the least unexpected player of the game. Let's get to our player of the game before we get to some comments.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I almost want to do this right in the first segment because we already knew it was Shane Baz. And Shane Baz, absolutely terrific. I believe he's the first pitcher player of the game since I've been doing this, and he is more than warranted to get it. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, no runs. Only Rays pitcher to go 7+ innings this year, and he's done it twice. No one else on the Rays staff has done it. He had everything working. Like I said, that fastball, I think the way he placed that changeup was just so good. And I thought Rodriguez, his strikeout to end the 8th inning was so massive. It was just a dot. It was like, can I help you? No, thanks. I'm just looking as he walked back to the dugout. That's just a massive, massive strikeout from Rodriguez. And after that, you kind of felt the air deflate out of San Diego's balloon a little bit. And like I said, Cleavinger has just had great stuff his last 3 outings. So Shane Baz is the player of the game, but the pitching staff as a whole, or is the group of the game because of how dominant they were in this game. In a game where, again, the Rays got in late last night. They need their pitching staff to back them up like they have all year, and they delivered in the biggest possible way. Now, let's get to some comments. If you guys are in the comments right now, leave them in there. We're going to get to them right now. We're going to start with Gary, who's in there every night. He said, is there a Magnum update? I just said it before, so I don't know when this was said, but Nylander went on 620 sometime today and said that it looks like 2 to 4 weeks for him. So again, hopefully it's near that 2 range and not the 4, because we need him back. Just the switch hitting that provides, the defense provides, in the speed that he provides is much needed for this Rays offense. Let's get to Michael Dean. Props to the offense making King work. This was a key in the game that I was going to get to, and I was happy that I saw that Michael got to it, and that's why I want to highlight it. King had 90 pitches after 5 innings. The fact that the Rays could get into this talented bullpen early, even though Adam and Suarez didn't pitch, we're probably going to see them tomorrow, is huge. They made him work. They battled, and that's what I was talking about, where even though the Rays only scored 1 run, they really battled with him, right? They battled. They made him pitch. They 3-2. They fouled off pitches, and that's really, I mean, you look down, Yandy's going to do that. Junior does really good at bats, and it was huge because King was, again, his 2-seam is just filthy, and he was fooling the Rays all with it, and I put in the description of this 1 run just so happened to be enough. As Mike goes in, could Garrett Cleavinger eventually be the go-to closer? I don't know. I think he would be 3rd in line, frankly. I think Fairbanks is going to be the 9th inning guy unless he has a complete meltdown, which I don't think he will. And then I would think even if he does, Uceta would get that next chance. And then I would even go maybe Rodriguez and then Cleavinger. But I just named 4 really good relievers, right? That's a really good problem to have. And that's why I think this is a top 10 unit in baseball right now, a top 5 unit, as its cat goes to typical Rays win, good pitching, good defense, and the best start of Baz's career, one of his best starts, pure filth from Shane Baz, the wizard, as they call him. And like I said before, Rays have been winning this way for years, pitching and defense, man. That's their MO, and that is what I absolutely love. That's what we've come to expect. And you look at Meisner, you look at Magnum, these guys that they bring up from the minor leagues. They're A+ defenders. They got A+ speed, and they'll battle in the batter's box. And that's what this prototypical Rays guys have been. I mean, they think guys like Jason Bartlett, right? Great defender, battles in the batter's box. Just a Rays player, Meisner, Magnum, that typical Rays guy, right? And it just seems like the Rays have a bevy of them. And that as they made a trade today, I like the trade because the guy I can never. It's like Janikowski, his last name. He has long blonde hair he was with the Rangers for a long time. He would hit ninth on their World Series team from a few years ago. I like the trade because the Rays need the depth for the next 2 weeks. As much as I love Morel, Simpson, and Magnum, you can't play them every day for the next 2 weeks, right? It's not sustainable. One of them could get hurt, and that's the last thing we need right now. I think Cabby could get an outfield day tomorrow, which I think could be big for him. And it's just more depth. You can never have enough depth. He's a proven big leaguer, and just like I said before, he's a good defender, and he'll provide pretty tough at bats, and he has really good speed. It's just like Miser, just like Magnum, right? It's like the Rays have a type in that outfield, and that's why they're one of the best defensive teams in the MLB. If you guys have any more comments, leave them in right now. We're going to get to a few more as we got our guy that's in here every night. Shout out to him and shout out to everyone that's in here. Our past 2 lives that we're in right now have been 2 of our biggest of the year. I love this little community that we've built, and I want to continue. I want to see more and more people in here, more and more people in the comments. You guys are watching the replay? Leave a comment on the replay, and I'll try to get back to all of them as I can. And it's not for game 2 versus Arizona. This would be the most Rays win of the season so far. I agree. There's nothing more Rays win than 1-0 in a pitching duel, right? So I 100% agree. And then Mike goes, Alexander goes, who's pitching versus Pepio? We'll pitch for Cease tomorrow. It's a good time to look ahead to that as the Rays get through one of the Padres' best pitchers, but they probably got to face the better of the 2 tomorrow with Dylan Cease. And the Rays faced him, I think it was 2 years ago when he was with the White Sox. Maybe it was 3 years ago, but and he got on them pretty good. And the Rays have struggled against top-tier pitching guys, right? You look at Max Fried, look at Fott, even King today, even though the Rays battled, still struggled with him today. So can the Rays hit consistently off a proven guy, right? That's what we need. And that's what the Rays are going to have to do consistently, because even when you get in the playoffs, it's going to be those top guys. But of course, the Rays have to get there first. As we're about to shut it down here, again, I just thank all you guys so much. I mean, again, right now it's 12:30 Eastern. Of course, thankfully it's like the baseball guys blessed us as we're going till past almost 1:30 a.m. Eastern, and we got a quick 1-0 game. And I think that's why we have the most people we've ever had in here. So I'm just so thankful for all of you as we get to our guy Gary in here every night, always showing love, as that's a pretty good San Diego lineup they shut down this evening. Absolutely. I mean, who has a better top? And then when their center fielder is healthy, it's even better, right? So so right now they're going Tatis, Bogarts, who has the most RBIs against the Rays in any active player, which I thought was crazy. And it was the most by a wide margin. I know he's in Boston forever, but you would think like Aaron Judge would have that, right? And then you got Machado. Like, that's a heck of a top 3. And the Rays were able to contain them. Their hits came when no one's on base. As Alexander, we're going to end with this one. Cease has a 6+ ERA right now, and probably get dominated, right? I think the same exact way, right? I see someone, one of the best pitchers at ERA is like, oh, he'll get right against the Rays. So hopefully that continues against the Rays. Hopefully the Rays keep putting up really good quality at bats. I do want to get back to Gary because this was really important. We got a Ha-Seong Kim sighting this evening, and Nylander, when he went on 620, did say that Ha-Seong Kim is progressing beautifully. And he might not be ready to take over full-time shortstop duties in mid-May, but we could see him by that point, maybe doing a DH day, maybe playing the shortstop once every 3rd day. So just great news on Ha-Seong Kim. And again, I appreciate it. It's the most people we've ever had on a live right now. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe. I'm here every single day breaking down the Rays win after every single Rays game. And what's the best part about Rays baseball? What's the best part about baseball in general? That there's a game tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys then.